Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Drop, and today we're going to be doing a versus video between the Anta Kai 1 and the Jordan Tatum 2. So of course this is going to be the finals, right? So Kyrie Irving versus Jayson Tatum. Who has the better shoe? And it's really dope because they're both pretty much the exact same price. The Kai 1 retails for 125 bucks, the Tatum 2 retails for 125 bucks. So if you guys do want to cop either of these shoes, I try to leave an affiliate link in the description box if you do choose to get either of these shoes. It does help me out if you buy the shoes from the affiliate link in the description box. And as always, thank you guys so much for all of the support. But yeah, who's going to win the finals? Who do you guys think? Tell us down in the comment section below. And also, who do you guys think has the better looking shoe? Tell us right now in the comments. I definitely feel like Kyrie. This shoe looks awesome, right? And also, have you seen the triple black colorway? Right, I really like the Enlightened Warrior colorway as well, and also the mom colorway. But yeah, I mean, the Tatum 2 has been releasing some dope colorways, but the overall design, I like the Kai ones, right? But anyways, let's get it started off with the Tracciones, and the Kai one's just way better, right? So the Kai one definitely does not feel good once you first get it. You know, you need to break it in, but you need to break it in for only like a day or two, and once you do, it has really good stops, right? So yeah, if you're playing on a clean court, it has an amazing stop. And I had a really good time with it. Also, if you're playing on a dusty court, it performs really well on the dusty setting as well. It's just very consistent through a dirty court and also a clean court, you know? So yeah, it's just way better for that. For the Tatum 2, you need to break it in a little bit, and once you do break it in, it does get a little bit better. And if you're playing on a clean court, it actually has a pretty good stop. Actually, I would say it stops a little bit harder than the Kai one, just a tiny bit harder, but dust performance was not good in the Tatum 2. You know what I mean? It's affected by dust a good amount, and you need to wipe constantly. You know, it's a pretty easy wipe. It's not the easiest wipe, but it is a pretty easy wipe. But it's just affected by dust a lot more than the Kai one. So yeah, it's just way better for dust performance for the Kai one. If playing on an outdoor court, however, I feel like the Kai one is not going to be great. You know, it's a very soft rubber, and I do have a little bit of tearing where the highway area is. The Tatum 2, I don't know, it's just a combination of rubber and foam, so I don't think it'll be very good for durability, but where the rubber pods are, the rubber is really hard. So I feel like this will be better for outdoor use than the Kai one, but overall, if you're playing on an indoor court, the Kai one's just better, right? So there is the traction there. Moving on to the heel to toe transition, I would say the Kai one is a little bit smoother feeling, right? So here in the heel, we have a fully exposed midsole and super duper soft for this, right? So it feels really nice here in the heel. Coming here into the forefoot, got a nice curved shape, right? The Tatum 2, it is a foam material, but it doesn't feel as soft. And so it's still like smooth for the Tatum 2, it's just not as soft as the Kai ones. Coming here into the forefoot, we got a nice curved shape. But the Tatum 2, it's a little bit stiffer here in the forefoot, right? But does offer a little bit more of a springier feel here in the forefoot, right? The Kai 1 is just a little bit more soft, right? It's actually quite a bit softer and more flexible here in the forefoot. So the Tatum 2, it feels a little bit springier here in the forefoot, right? So it gives you that nice little springiness. The Kai 1 is just more smooth and softer feeling for the heel to toe transition. So one is not better than the other, it's just preference. Obviously, it's on what you want and what you like. I like a little bit more of a smoother feel, so I like the Kai ones, right? So there's that. Moving on to the cushioning setup. So the cushioning setup is a little bit different as well. But in my personal opinion, I would say I like the Kai one just a tiny bit better, right? So the Tatum 2 still has a very nice cushioning setup, however, right? It has a full-length air strobel unit. And so if you remove the insole, you can see it. And it feels really nice, right? So here in the heel, here in the midfoot, and also in the forefoot, you got a good amount of compression right underneath the foot. It's super comfortable, and once you get going, has a little bit of bounce as well, right? The Kai 1, on the other hand, it's using full-length N2 foam, and if you do remove the insole, you can see a very soft mesh strobel board, and that feels really comfortable underneath your foot as well, right? You got a good amount of compression. Also adds for a little bit of bounce, you know, not as bouncy as the air strobel unit, but still adds for a nice little subtle bounce, which does feel great. But the Kai 1 has more compression here in the heel from the actual midsole, right? The Tatum 2 is a little bit stiffer, like I said. So yeah, I mean, honestly, they're both really, really nice, but I would say I like the Kai 1 a little bit better. They're both really nice for impact protection. Step and comfort's both great. They both have a little bit of bounce as well. As far as the court feel goes, I would say the Tatum 2 is a little bit higher up off the ground, but they're around the same as well. So yeah, there is the cushioning setup there. They're both really, really nice, just a little bit different, you know? And now moving on to the upper. So I would say I like the Kai 1 better. You know what I mean? For the price, the quality is just a little bit better and just breaks in a little bit nicer as well. It gets softer. So we have this nice embroidered material here in the toe box. In both of these colorways, there's some colorways that don't have that, like in the Enlightened Warrior colorway, but anyways, it breaks in really nicely. Like I said, it gets soft, it's thin, it's very, very supportive too. We have a good amount of fuse surrounding the toe box as well for extra durability and support. The Tatum 2, however, it's using like this textile material, right? And I do like it, you know, it feels pretty dang nice on foot. It just feels a little bit flimsier. Even though this is broken in, it feels a little bit flimsier and a little bit stiffer than the Kai 1. Now look at this. Right, so it's not as nice for quality. It doesn't feel as nice on foot. For the tongue as well, the Kai 1 is just way better. You have a good amount of padding here for the tongue. It feels really nice and cozy. The Tatum 2, not as much. You know what I mean? It's actually pretty minimal. They're both half booty construction tongues, giving you a better overall one-to-one fit. And then here in the ankle area, the Tatum 2 actually has a little bit of padding. Feels pretty nice and cozy in the back of the shoe, but the Kai 1 has a good amount of padding, and it's like this memory foam type of material and feels really plush and very nice in the ankle area, right? On your Achilles and also kind of like around your ankle, you know? So yeah, the Kai 1 just feels way better. The quality feels better for the material, and it feels a lot more cozy and comfortable in the back of the shoe as well, versus the Tatum 2. So there's that. Moving on to the fit. So I went true to size for the Kai 1 and fits me pretty much like a glove. My toes go very close to the edge of the shoe. The toe box is quite snug, and width-wise, I would say it's like normal to slightly narrow. So it's just a really nice snug fit for me here in the Kai 1. The Tatum 2, I did go up half a size and fits me extremely nice as well, right? It is kind of narrow, and it is pretty snug here in the toe box, but I would say it's a little bit roomier than the Kai 1. And there is a little bit of length because I did go up half a size, but if I went true to size, I feel like it might be a little too snug. So yeah, me going true to size on the Kai 1 and me going up half a size in the Tatum 2, they're both pretty dang nice fits for me. And now moving on to the support in lockdown. So for lateral containment, you're gonna be good to go in both of the shoes, right? So the Kai 1, we have these plastic cage here in the forefoot, and also we have the Anta logo here in the midfoot, as well as this midfoot strap. I mean, this midfoot strap doesn't really do anything, but we also have an internal TPU heel count. So lateral containment, your foot is not coming out of the footbed at all, right? You're gonna be good to go, no matter how big you are. The same thing here in the Tatum 2. You got this, they did some crazy here, you know what I mean? So we got this, the rubber, this is actually rubber. So this is rubber, we got a foam pod here, this is also foam here. So we got that here in the forefoot, here in the midfoot, and there's an internal TPU heel counter. So lateral containment, your foot's not coming out of the footbed here in the Tatum 2 either, right? So pretty much tied up, right? Lateral stability also is pretty dang good in both of the shoes. They both have like the same width here in the forefoot, but one difference is the heel. You can see how much narrower the Tatum 2 is here in the heel. Look at that. If we put it, it's just, that's a good amount. Look at that. It's like that much, right? As you guys can see. So yeah, lateral stability was good in both of the shoes, like if you're on your forefoot, but in the heel, if you land in the heel, the Tatum 2 not gonna be as stable as in the Kai 1, right? So there's that. Also, I didn't really have any issues with heel lockdown, heel slippage in either of the shoes. So overall support and lockdown felt really good for me. It's just it'll be a little bit more laterally stable for the Kai 1. All right, moving on to the weight of the shoe. I feel like the Tatum 2 is actually a little bit lighter, surprisingly. Yeah, 12.1 ounces. It's not super lightweight, but it's a little bit lighter than average. The average weight of my shoes is around 12.5 ounces. The Kai 1 is like 13. Yeah, 13.4 ounces. So it's actually like an ounce heavier for the Kai 1, which you can definitely feel a little bit of a difference in weight. Now, the Tatum 2 does feel lighter on foot. However, it doesn't feel as like responsive because the Kai 1's just more consistent and better for traction, you know what I mean? I mean, I would really like the Tatum 2 if it had good traction. It's just, I usually play on LA Fitness or 24 Hour Fitness course. It's usually dirty there. And I don't really like playing on the Tatum 2 because of the traction, you know, like dust performance. If I was always playing on a clean court, I wouldn't mind it because like when I was playing on a clean court, it was really, really nice. But yeah, because of that, I just felt quicker in the Kai 1s, right? So there's that. Moving on to the ventilation, they're both not the best for ventilation. There's not a whole lot of airflow through either of these uppers. So yeah, both of them are on the warmer side of things. And aesthetically, like I said, the Kai 1 looks better. So yeah, wrapping things up, yeah, the Kai 1 is just the overall better performer. Like I said, if the Tatum 2 actually had good traction, it would be a little bit harder for me to decide which one's better, right? Like the Tatum 2 has nice cushion. I really like the full-length air stromal unit. Kai 1, same thing, really, really nice cushion. The upper, I mean, the material quality is just better in the Kai 1. It gets softer as well, but still just as supportive. But the Tatum 2 is still not that bad with this, you know, textile material. Support and lockdown is great, but they both fit me extremely nice. So yeah, I just wish the Tatum 2 had better traction, you know what I mean? And that's just something that a lot of people have experienced as well. Like a lot of you guys have said the same thing. So yeah, because of that, I would say just get the Kai 1. You know what I mean? Like I guess the only reason is if you want a lighter shoe and if you're playing on a really clean court most of the time, then Tatum 2, great option, right? But for most people and also for most play styles, I would say just get the Kai 1. The Kai 1's the better performer. So anyways, that about concludes this versus video. Again, if you guys do want to copy either of these shoes, I try to leave them a link in the description box. But that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.